Quite a selling point for the international students. So you graduate, and once you graduate, you just
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into De-Education. So this is a platform where I bring designers from different aspects to talk about their design education and how their design education has shaped them into better designers. On this episode, we have Vignesh with us. Hi Vignesh, welcome to De-Education.
hi Tej. Thank you so much for inviting me for this episode, and I feel honored to be here.
Thank you Vignesh. If you could give a brief about yourself to our viewers out there.
Yeah. So my name is Vignesh, and I do a couple of things ranging from graphic designing to uh, motion graphics, animation, a little bit of game designing and 3D modeling. Like I pretty much do from end to end multimedia designs, and I've been into these things for the last 5 years or so.
Thank you Vignesh. So what was your journey into design? How did you start?
Yeah. So I think my journey began when I was watching a lot of cartoons as a child, and the colorful artworks and everything that influenced me a lot. And I was never into the the education and stuff like that. But uh, I love to I love to know things, and I like to collect information and stuff like that. So my journey began with cartoons and movies and you know music and the attractive things, advertisements, stuff like that.
Thank you so much, Vignesh. So, how did you adapt to New Zealand? And you've been doing a master's program out there. So, if you could share a few insights on New Zealand, the education, because it's hardly been chosen. So, how was your experience with the New Zealand and the culture around there and the design education that you are currently doing it?
Yeah. So when I wanted to pursue my higher studies, so I was doing a lot of research for almost 2 years, and I chose New Zealand because it's an English speaking country, and second, it's actually really easy to adapt, especially if you're in Auckland. It's really easy to adapt because overall the population of New Zealand is low when compared to other Anglo sphere countries. So and the major city of New Zealand is Auckland, which has population about 1.9 million, and the expat population is too huge. If I pretty much jumped into people from all over, like people from Germany, France, Canada. Like there are a lot of Indians, and there are a lot of Chinese people. Like pretty much you find the multiculturalism vibe is really good, and it's very easy to adapt for the initial cases. Unlike if I am going to some European countries, it's gonna be I have to face a lot of culture shocks. But in Auckland, it's quite easy because of the high expat population and high amount of young people here. It's quite easy to adapt or even to flat and stuff like that.
That's wonderful, Vignesh. So, if you could talk about your university and what is the process that you did to apply for the universities at New Zealand, and how did your course happen, and what are different subjects or experimentations that you did throughout this course?
Yeah. So I did my program in media design school, and it's the most awarded creative and technological school in New Zealand, and they have programs ranging from you know interaction design to artificial intelligence to pretty much everything in the spectrum. And what I did is my course was a research-based coursework program. So I it's a design program, but it's a mix of everything. So the first module I was doing was an interdisciplinary program, and the brief I received was quite futuristic. It's just that the brief was about imagining myself in the year 2050, where the jobs I do now they don't exist anymore. So I need to do my research in by using the user experience methodology, and I have to create a role for myself and how I will sell myself. Like I need to find my target audience, and I have to sell myself because the jobs I do right now they don't exist. But based on this job, what I do, I have to build myself. So we had certain procedures to do. First, like analyzing your skill set and stuff like that. Like what are your top, like what you're good at, what you're not good at. So we used um, a scientific based website that gives you your top 26 skills or something, on which like the bottom ones you could never change the bottom ones because your weakness is your weakness. But if you're moderate of something, you could try to improve it, but you can never improve your bottom weakness. So we do a lot of research for it, and then I finished it. This was just one module. Then my other module was uh, it was a it was a speculative design module, which is quite a niche segment. There are a few big players in this segment who they do the research. It's mainly the projects they work on is to provocate a thought into people's head. So that's why they jump into the speculative design spectrum. So the brief, which my lecturer they've broken down and gave us is it was brief. It was gender inequality in the future home. So it's something like year 2070 or 2080. That's what I chose, and I chose the target market as you know I did. I chose a conservative country of the present thing, and I imagined them in 2080, and I designed my product that actually provocate a thought that only women should cook and men should not cook. So that was my idea. So since it's speculative design, you can make your product without actual evidences, but you need to justify what you're doing. So what I did is I made a cooking machine that will be made just for one person. So if if I as a company coming to you, I will take a sample of your DNA, and based on that I will design the machine. So and because I take your DNA, I have all your data, and I know what you like. So all your favorite food will be there in the machine. So you just need to buy the food chemicals from my company, and you're gonna put that chemicals into the machine, and then you're just going to choose your dish, and your dish will pop out of the machine, and then that's the most healthiest food for yourself. And by this machine, I just said that nobody has to cook anymore. So this was my project, and this is what I did. And yeah, it was a quite short project. And later that was researching on sharing economy and stuff like that, which we came into the present. And I developed another product, and I this time I did for the New Zealand market. And yeah, and then I did my another module, my final module, and that was on entrepreneurship. It was called as creative entrepreneurship. And where I did another product. I did a edutech product, and yeah, so these were the things I was working on and stuff like that.
Thank you, Vignesh. That's been a wonderful journey. So, if you tell us in terms of campus life and how was the internship experiences or the employment experiences in New Zealand, and also how was it with the college?
So yeah, so with my school or college, how things were like everything was very well organized, and they have various clubs and stuff, which if you want you can participate, and they have some social activities like gaming nights or movie nights or stuff like that, which is again optional. And my lecturers, both of them, they had huge experience in this field because they both were. I just had only two lecturers, and they both had PhDs and stuff like that. They had PhDs from the UK, and they still do their research. And all the students who studied, they did wonderful products. Like I learned a lot from them because it's like I met people from various backgrounds. So the idea of the courses, um, if you are from a background, so you need to upgrade yourself uh, by doing these modules. You need to use your skills to improve your skills or build new skills. That was the idea. So if somebody is a VR developer, most of the products they did during the course were based on the VR or the mixed reality spectrum. So I got to meet people from various backgrounds and how they were thinking and solving the modules. And based on the employment aspects, so all over New Zealand, if you study any course which comes in the post graduation level, so you get a stay back option of 3 years. So which was quite a selling point for the international students. So you graduate, and once you graduate, you just apply for your post study work visa, and you will get that visa up to 3 years. So which is good, and that's an open visa. So you you can look for the jobs and stuff. But New Zealand is a small market where finding design jobs can be a little hard, but it's not impossible because there are a lot of jobs here, and they recognize this as a long-term skill shortage. In the website of New Zealand, you have all the skill shortages. So if your skill set is in the skill shortage, that means there is a not there is a chance that you will be a resident easily. And at the moment, I am working for a new e-learning product, uh, which is called King's Online Academy, and yeah, I just pretty much do anything and everything for that. And one more thing in New Zealand, what I've seen is you have to be a multitasker because it's a small market. They will expect you to do everything. You just can't do one thing and market yourself because most of the time the companies here they see candidates who can do a lot of things, like mostly like an end-to-end designer. And because of its remoteness, and because right now we are COVID-free in New Zealand, there are a lot of American businesses they wanna open up their businesses in New Zealand. They want to operate it. And in the business index level, New Zealand is like the number two in the world to do. It's the easiest place to do business. So it attracts a lot of businesses to come and start doing their business.
Thank you so much, Vignesh, for sharing all these great insights. So, on a concluding note, if you have to contrast or compare yourself with the Vignesh before attending to a design school, what are the few differences that you would point out to?
I would say um, the differences is it's I can't say just because of a design school, but it's because of like I'm growing older, that and I'm meeting a lot of different people and doing a lot of things on my own. I think I start to think more logically, and which which actually helps me to you know to design my things or whatever, which helps me to do some research and work on my product. So that's what.
Thank you so much, Vignesh, for sharing all these wonderful insights. And we are looking forward to host you again in our upcoming episode. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for hosting me.